I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I know I really enjoyed my camping trip, my little one night camping trip, I have to say. But you could probably tell I'm all nasally. My allergies are going crazy. And I already complained about the humidity and it being hot. I do that all the time, anyways. But I enjoyed myself. But yeah, my allergies are really kicking in full force. And on top of having trouble sleeping, anyways, I got ate up by mosquitoes. And I'm telling you, these mosquitoes are the size of horses. I'm telling you, I have bites all over me, and I used bug spray. I don't know what it is. It seems like nobody else gets bit but me. And they are like huge. So I put that, Calmine crap on, and it wasn't working last night. And I'm telling you, it's very early in the morning. I've already stated before I don't like doing videos late at night or early in the morning, but I was just itching and itching. So then I washed that off and put the anti-itch cream that I have, and it's just nothing's working. So I just couldn't sleep. So I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and do my video because I was planning on doing this anyways. Um, and like I said, I did not know what was going on in the YouTube streets. I took Friday and Saturday and stayed away from the drama and stayed away from, what was going on and enjoyed myself. Took some me time. And I had a lot of stuff that I had to get done around my place. And I was going to just kind of catch up and had to do some, listen to some replays. I'm sure I missed a lot, and that's okay. Don't need to listen to everything and don't want to, I'm sure. Um, so I did. I listened to some replays yesterday and then last night, and wow. Okay, so all I could say is wow. So, yeah, this video is probably going to be a long one. I have a lot to cover. And I am going to try, after this video, I'm going to do, hopefully put out another video today. Just a little update on Leticia. Not a whole lot going on with Leticia. Now, she is still, quote, in time out on YouTube. She's going to be, in a few days, get, be off banned. Okay. So she'll be back on YouTube. So she's been posting on Instagram. Um, so she was kind of MIA for a few days on Instagram, and she's back to it, a posting. So we'll go over just a little bit on, what's happening with her. That video won't be long. And then I wanted to show some of the jewelry that I'm going to be having in my store and what I'm going to be doing with giveaways. And I already said, like with all of my other items that I'm going to be having in my store, that I'm going to be putting a percentage of all my items that I have. The purses I've already shown. Of course, not all of my purses because I still got a ton more. Some of the purses that I didn't show, and I forgot all about it. I have some Gucci as well, and those are authenticated. I didn't even get those out, and I don't know why. But and then of course, I already said that I will have a clothing line too, and that includes, you know, like shoes and stuff like that. And, you know, I'm not going to show any of that, you know, the clothing line, but I'm going to show another video of some of the vintage items and stuff like that that I picked up, and even not vintage, okay? Uh, you know, just kind of give you an idea of what I'm going to have in my store. Um, but I said that I was going to put a percentage back for um, people in this drama circle. Like if they have to go not real life, if they have to go legal on somebody, that goes real life on them, or if there is a need. You know, if something happens and, you know, there's a need in the community in this drama circle, um, you know, something happens, like I said, and they are needing financial help. So, and I will say that every time I do my video when I show items, because people don't watch all, you know, all my videos, and it's for, you know, when I do giveaways and stuff like that, that will be for my subs. I don't have a community here, you know, I keep saying that over and over, but those will be for my subs, because I don't have a community. So anyways, and not, you know, people don't watch all my videos. So I'm just, that's why I will say that over and over again. Okay. So hopefully, I will show some of the jewelry, and that will be like a two different videos, because there's a lot. And of course, I'm not going to show all of it because there's just way too much. But even just to show a fraction of it, I'm going to have to do it in two parts. And I'm still working on that concrete fountain. So I just have a lot going on. And plus, I do work too. So I'm just one person. So I'm doing my best, I promise. And I'm still trying to, you know, do all my research on, you know, the different areas, you know, for my store, you know, where's the right place to go with all the different fees and stuff like that. You know, like with eBay and, you know, Poshmark, and then maybe Facebook, you know, I'm still trying to get that narrowed down. I'm still getting narrowed down about going live, and all that good stuff. So, anyways, I'm going to try to, if I can't do that today, then I might put the jewelry out, the video on that out tomorrow. Doing pre-recorded videos makes it a little easier, because even though it takes some time to upload it to my gallery and then, you know, upload it to YouTube, you know, it'll make it a little bit easier for me because I can do it on my own time. And sometimes my time is limited. But anyways, I'm going to jump right into what I'm going to be talking about today. And like I said, this might be a longer video because there's a lot to cover. So here we go. Where do I begin? Well, okay. I'm going to begin with Mrs. Portland, okay? Now, whoever, you know, people can say what they want, all right? When I do my videos, it's pretty clear that I do not body shame. I keep my cussing to a minimal. Doesn't mean I'm a prude. I just try to be, you know, I don't know, conduct myself in a certain way on social media. And I try to be fair. I do. And I am never going to bash somebody for their looks or for their disabilities. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not. And yes, I talk about behaviors. It's on my about section. So, you know, I do watch other creators. People can say the same about me. They can talk about me. It's fair. You know, they can say, well, who are you to talk about what other people do? I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. But that's on my about section. That's part of what I do on my channel. And that's why, you know, I got interested in this to begin with, was back in the Watts days. I've already said that. In groups, I just thought it was bizarre how adults act on social media. So here we are, right? So, anyways, I don't agree with people attacking Mrs. Portland. I don't agree with that. But, okay, I am going to maybe be harsher on this video than I've ever been. Now, I've pointed out her bad behaviors in some other videos. I've also done a very encouraging video for Mrs. Portland in the past, and then just quit for the longest time, you know, saying anything about Mrs. Portland because I've said before, you know, it fuels the fire when you discuss her, when you talk about her, because it's just like, you know, a never-ending story. If you just mention her name, she thinks you're attacking her. And maybe that's part of her disability. She doesn't have those coping skills. And, you know, I get it. And I've already said before, we as decent human beings, we want to protect people that are disabled. And I'm sure, you know, a lot of us have loved ones that are disabled. I do. I have family members that are disabled. My youngest son is on the spectrum. Okay. So a lot of us understand and we get it. But I'm not going to tiptoe around Mrs. Portland anymore. I'm not going to make excuses for her anymore. All right? I'm not going to be that one anymore. Because she's vile. She's nasty. And people that want to coddle her, have at it. Okay? Have at it. But after the things that she's done in the past, it's already out there. Okay? A lot of people forgave her, what she has done. The lies that she's put out in the past, we don't have to go over all that. People know it. Even the people that support her, they know it. They just don't want to say anything because they're in a community now that support her, and that's fine. They don't want to call out the truth. That's okay. Okay? But I don't feel bad for Mrs. Portland anymore. Now, let me take that back. I still feel bad, or I have, not bad, okay? I have empathy because she has disabilities. I still have that empathy because, you know, anyone with a heart, you still have the empathy for those that, I don't want to say have less than, because, you know, she showed her apartment, right? She's doing pretty good for somebody that is, you know, living on such a tight fixed income. I'm sure that there's a lot of viewers out there that only wished they are living as good as she is, right? I mean, yeah, nice flat screen TVs. They always talk about plenty of food, nice steaks and stuff, right? Pretty nice clean house, nice decor, a gaming system, gaming computer there, laptops. Yeah, all those Disney movies. I mean, Disney VHS movies don't cost a lot, but they got a nice collection. Stuff to keep them busy. Laptops. They're living pretty good for being on a fixed income and on disability. A lot better than a lot of people out there that are living on a fixed income. So, moving on from that, I don't feel bad for her when it comes to that. There's a lot of people that are homeless, right? I mean, she's got 2 bathrooms. Shoot. Lot of families, with children struggle with fighting over 1 bathroom. So, no, I don't feel bad for her in that aspect. But I have empathy when it comes to her having the disabilities, mentally and physically. But, again, they're physically, she gets around, it seems like, fine. We see her zooming through that house just fine. We have seen her say that she has somebody that comes in and cleans the house for her. But we've also seen her say that, she's out helping friends clean. We've seen her actually moving a ladder and cleaning somebody else's place. And she's doing it okay. We see her say that her husband is cleaning gutters and helping somebody move. Cleaning gutters, you gotta, sometimes, well, most of the time, get up on a ladder and do it. And, yeah, moving boxes and stuff like that. I mean, that can take some work, right? Especially for somebody that needs a mobility scooter to get around. Okay, then. But, like I said, I still have empathy because it's clear that she does have some mental disabilities. Okay? But I do not feel bad for her when it comes to her wanting to cry and whine that people are mentally attacking her for no reason, because she's a liar. Now, that's what she has done, in the past, but, she took us for that tour of her house. I think she forgot how she has told everybody. I mean, she did say, and I am not talking bad about her child. Okay? Because she'll say, when people even say child, she will say people threatened her child. That's not true. No one's ever threatened her child. Ever. Ever. Never heard anybody ever threaten her child. Nobody should be talking about, anybody's child anyways, okay? Now, she's allowed to do it. She's allowed to wish the C word on everybody's children. She's allowed to get away with it, right? Because she's got disabilities. But I'm not going to talk about her child. I'm just pointing out what she said. We all know what she said. She said that he lived there. Everybody knows that. She might not have wanted she might not have wanted to tell her story at the time, and then she came out with her story, and I totally get that. All right, totally get that. I'm not going to come down on her for that, But later on, when she came out with her truth, she said that he has a room there set up for him when he comes to visit. Now, she lied again, on her live, and she said that, she was, I don't know if anybody caught it, but she said that her and her husband was going to see him when she did one of her lives, because he had a doctor's visit, right? He had a doctor's visit, and it's been a while since she's seen him because of the C word. And they were going to meet up, and they were going to meet up for lunch. But when she did a video with this brutally Lauren, because it came up that she didn't get to see him, at Christmas, like she told everybody that she did. She seen him at Christmas, which she didn't. She finally said that she hasn't seen him in 2.5 years. But see, on one of her live videos, when she was doing lives with people, and I've already stated, she does wonderful videos when she goes live. She connects with her audience. She should do that more often, right? She should, because she's good at it. But she said that she was meeting up with the foster mother and her son and her husband, and they were going to have lunch, and he had a doctor's appointment, and she was going to get to see her child. That was a lie. And then she talked about, because people were asking for pictures, and she's like, yes, I will show you pictures. We took pictures. That was a lie. Because when she was on with Brutally Lauren, she said the first time that they got to see him was at his graduation in the last 2.5 years. But let's back it up. I think she forgot when she opened up that bedroom, the spare bedroom. She's like, and this is what we use for a storage unit because we can't afford one. She opened it up, and it is filled up with a bunch of stuff. You can clearly tell that room is not used as a bedroom for her child when he comes to visit, like she has told us over and over. I think she forgot about that. But, her supporters aren't going to say anything because she's got disabilities. That's okay. But right now, I do not feel bad for her one bit, and I'm going to tell you why. It has nothing to do with those past things, whatever. I can overlook that stuff. It's what she's doing right now. Okay? I can look over that because she can be embarrassed. She can feel bad, okay, of what happened in the past and, what she's going through or what it could have done to her mentally having all this happen. I can look over that. I absolutely can. That's her real life stuff, even though she put it out on the net, okay? She didn't have to, but she did. I can look over all that. What she's doing now, I've already said before, in my opinion, she caused all of this with Sally Ann and CJ and the issue with Robbie and Lycan. She is the common denominator in this whole situation. Okay? She is talking about everybody. She's not doing it so much on her channel anymore. She does it a little bit here and there. Now, in my opinion, she's trying to copy Lycan and Robbie. Using, calling people to see you next Tuesday to try to fit in. I mean, she was vile enough before, right? With her nasty mouth. Her little potty mouth. But she is talking about everybody. I mean, Everybody. Now, she wants to be a part of this drama community and she wants to fit in Lycan and Robbie's group. Mainly, it seems more now, Lycan's community. I mean, maybe they're intertwined. Robbie's community and Lycan's community is now intertwined. That's what it seems like. But she seems to be more into Lycan's community. That's okay. Seems like that's where she fits in and that's where she belongs. But she is, in my opinion, copying them. Especially Lycan, the way she's talking about people. Now, I'm sorry, but if you are going to go around and you are going to talk about people, right? And you're going to call them to the see you next Tuesday and talk your shit about people and body shame them and whatever you want to do, Mrs. P, they have every right to talk about you. So quit your damn whining now, okay? And don't think you can go sick your boys on them when they clap back at you. Because people have had enough. They have had enough of your lies, okay? And they're not feeling sorry for you anymore. They are not attacking you because you have a mental disability or physical disability. We know what you have. You have put it out there every single time you go on a panel, okay, of what you have. I mean, we can name it off the top of our heads. You go on the attack first. You always have from day one. And all you supporters out there of Mrs. Portland, you know that's a fact. Let's tell the truth, okay? The only reason why you're not telling the truth is because of who you follow and the community you're in. And you want to say, well, she's got disabilities, so we got to kind of overlook. No. Not anymore. Because she sits up there and she talks about people you don't like. That's the only reason. Because if she would be sitting up there saying all this horse shit about Lycan or Robbie and making up lies about them and saying they done this or that to them or to you, you would have a problem with it and you know it. She can't even tell the truth. I mean, I heard where she wanted to tell the story to Lauren about Granny and Lycan. She says, well, it happened a year and a half ago. Well, Granny wasn't even on a year and a half ago. Okay? And then, you know, making it sound like YouTube was a dating site. Well, I guess, okay. So she makes up the story as she goes to fit her own storyline, I guess. She doesn't know the truth if it bit her in the ass. And she wasn't there. She's only going off of what her leader tells her happened. Okay? She didn't hear the phone calls. And even if she was showed the truth, she doesn't care about the truth. Okay? Because she only fits in one community. Nobody else will ever accept her or take her back into their community ever again. But I can almost guarantee you, if Natasha's community and Natasha would say, hey, Mrs. Portland, you can come back to our community. We want you back. She would drop Lycan and she would drop Robbie like they were yesterday's news. Because their community is the one that financially supported her the most. That's where she was the happiest. Okay? Because she got that financial backing and she got emotional support. She wasn't foul-mouthed okay? She actually was happy, okay? She's like a chameleon, okay? She acts like when she was on their panel, you would see a sweet Mrs. Portland, right? You didn't get a lot of cussing. You did not get someone that bashed other people. You got a happy Mrs. Portland. You got a happy Mrs. Portland. And yes, she does like to interrupt people, and she does want to be a center of attention, but that might be a part of her disability, right? But Natasha kind of kept it into check, right? She kept it, she kept it in line. But they financially and gift wise, they really took care of her. Now, over in Lycan's community, she sits back, and you can see her sitting back, and she will just interrupt anybody at any time. And yes, they do try to. Hey, wait a minute, Mrs. Portland, don't talk over other people. But see, Natasha was more stern when it came to that. And she would, like I said, now she is just bad-mouthing whoever she wants to. Call them whatever names that she wants to call them to fit in. She does what she needs to do to fit in to whatever community she's in to be like them. So anyways, we're going to talk a little bit more about Mrs. Portland. But yeah, she's already talking about Granny, CJ, Kelly, the advocate, this Eli guy. I don't know anything about this Eli, okay? We're going to talk about him a little bit, but I seen that he was on Lycan's panel, and she was like, well, if you don't have any good content, you only have a couple people watching, how do you expect anything? I mean, she was just running her mouth. You're really one to talk. And she was talking about him being vile. Really one to talk there, Mrs. P. And he was very respectful to her. Really, he was. Like I said, I don't know nothing about him. He can be a piece of crap, okay? Don't know anything about him. The only thing that I know is Lycan streams him all the time. I don't get this streaming people all the time. I understand doing it here and there once in a while, streaming other people. But why do people stream other people's content? It's not your work. Now, like I said, I understand streaming people other time and, sometimes and doing commentary over it. But doing it all the time, that's not your content. So, yeah, I've never understood that. You're using someone else's content for your own. Like I said, doing it sometimes, yeah, to point out things and to go over what they're saying about you, or to go over what their drama stuff is about or whatever. But just to do it to, I don't know, fill up a time slot. But she's talking her crap about him as well. And then Mrs. P wants to say that everybody is jealous of their family. Oh, yeah. We want to... I am spending a little time on Mrs. P here. Their family. Really? I don't think so. I don't think anybody's jealous, okay? Because you guys are calling yourself the Manson family. Why would anybody be jealous of people that have no freaking morals? And we're going to talk about that. Because people are prettier. Really? Seriously? Sorry, but looks are going to fade. You guys know that. You're going to get older. What the hell is there to be jealous of? Really? Seriously. I don't think you're making like a ton of money on YouTube. All right. So there's that. Um, looks. Uh, who gives a shit? Seriously. I don't give a shit what anybody looks like. Okay? You can be the prettiest person on the outside and the ugliest on the inside, and it makes all that beauty on the outside go right out the window. Okay? And it makes you a piece of shit. So, I don't care what anybody looks like. I don't. And I'm sure a lot of people don't either. And like I said, most people, um, except Natasha, okay, uh, she's about one of the few in this drama circle that makes a decent amount of money. Some might make enough to, cover their bills. I don't know. I don't care about other people's money and what they make. What I'm saying is, I'm sure that people aren't making enough to, hey, I'm going to be able to retire, or, seriously. So I don't know what anybody has to be jealous of. Now, Mrs. P was proud to put that she was a Manson family member, okay? Because Kelly, she did a video, and she was referring to them as the Manson family. As like the Manson family. Okay, so when people do that, they're basically saying they're like a cult, okay? And, the way Charles Manson, he had his followers, and they would do anything that he said. They would think the way that he thought, no matter what, no matter if it was right or wrong. They had no morals. If he told them to think a certain way, they did. If he told them to stay away from certain people, they did. Now, don't want to say because, he told them to kill for him, and they did. We're not talking about killing here on YouTube, okay? We're not going to that extreme because that's just ridiculous, all right? We're talking about cult-like behavior, which I at one time, sometime I want to do that piece because we see this a lot in some of the communities. We see cult-like behavior, but not to the extreme. When people think of cults, they, a lot of time it's about religion, and it's about, going so far as to killing themselves or killing other people. But we do see a lot of, I would say, brainwashing, maybe reverse psychology, or people that change their thought process or change the way that their morals or the way that they would be their way of thinking. Or is it just they didn't change, they still think the same way, but they're putting on this face because they dislike somebody so much on the other side that they're going along with their new leader. And so Kelly, like I said, did this video, and she was comparing Lycan's members to the Manson family because they would basically share his same beliefs. say and do what he said. So Mrs. P changed her name to, Mrs. Portland Manson or whatever. I don't even think she knows the story, the horror of the Manson murders. Okay? I don't even think she knows about it. Now, I know if somebody would compare me, okay, as a Manson family member, that would upset me, okay, because it was such a horrific crime. A unborn baby was slaughtered too in that, okay? There was innocent people killed. And I would say, no, I'm not going to be triggered, but I would say no. No. That was a horrific crime, and I'm not in a cult. Well, it's one thing because some people put out where you act like you're in a cult. I might kind of play along with them and say, okay, we're cult members over here in this community because we see Natasha do that, right? But I would never ever take something like the Manson family or the Jones or anything like that lightly, because there was a lot of people killed. A lot of people died, okay? But, as Lycan puts it, a lot of things that happened in the world, not my problem. I don't care, okay? Don't bring your problem to my doorstep. Don't bring your trauma or your tragedy. Don't be triggered Karens. But these people are proud to be the Manson members. Now, like I said, if someone called me that, if I was ever in a community, I would not be okay being called. I would be like, no. You can say I'm a cult member if you want to believe that, but don't ever label me as being a Manson family member. That's insulting, okay? Because that was a very horrific crime. So that's pretty gross. And call me a cult member if you want. But don't label me a Manson person. But see, he's proud of it. And so's his followers. His community is proud of it. Be proud then. Mrs. Portland is, and so's a lot of other people. I think she changed her name back, but like I said, she probably doesn't even have a clue about the Manson murders. Probably doesn't. Maybe she does. I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to end it on Mrs. Portland. Again, I have empathy for her like I do a lot of other people, but don't come at me. I don't want to hear no more. If people go back at her and they make videos when she attacks them, they have every right to do it, and I don't want to hear no more of her crying and whining that people are hate attacking her for no reason, because she is sitting back comfortably calling people see you next Tuesday, talking about their looks, talking about everybody, calling them bitches, calling them every name in the book. So, saying that everybody's jealous of them and everything else. Mrs. Portland, you're exactly where you belong, okay? Exactly where you belong. And if it goes downhill where you're at, I don't think anybody is ever going to accept you in their community, in this circle, ever again. Good luck to you. I will say this before I end it. If she would stop talking about other people in an ugly way, I would donate to her crafts, to her paintings, okay? If she would stop being nasty and vile. I mean, she claims to be this 30-year Catholic and she is so proud of her faith. Seriously, the way she talks and acts. Okay. It's a wonder those crosses don't come flying off the wall. Just saying. We're going to move on. We're moving on from Mrs. Portland, okay? Like I said, it's fueling the fire with her. I don't think we need to say any more. I've said enough. Wow, 45 minutes just on that topic. Goodness, this is going to be a long video. So, now we have this Tiff, or Tiffany. Okay, I guess she's new in this community. Or did Lycan go find her? Did she come over? I have no idea, don't care. Now, some things have been put out about her. I have no clue who she is. And the first thing was this accident. I'm not even going to talk about it. I don't know the truth behind it. I'm not going to go digging. If it comes to surface, comes to the surface on YouTube, then so be it. I know that some false things were shared. And then it said, this was an older gentleman. But Lycan had to just say, for whatever reason, that, just like he has to do a lot, he has to bring up things that just isn't. He's like, well, I say it because it's a fact. Yeah, it is a fact. Maybe. I don't know, because I didn't look it up. That he was an immigrant, or illegal, as he says. I don't know. But she hit and killed a motorcyclist, okay, or he was on a bicycle, not a motorcyclist, sorry. Don't know what I guess it was an accident. Don't know if she was texting or driving or, while she was driving or live streaming or any of that stuff, okay? Have no idea. But he brings up that he was an immigrant. Why are you bringing that up? And he says, well, because it was a fact. What was the purpose of bringing that up? It was a human life. It does not matter. Okay? It doesn't matter if are you going to bring up what his race is? I mean, that would be a fact too, right? Does it take away that it was a life? That's the question. Does it take away from that? Now, I'm not going to talk about that because I don't know anything about it. We're just going to move forward from that, okay? If things come up later on, then we can discuss it. That's not what I'm going to talk about. Now, people can say, well, this person is such a sweet person because they talk so calmly and they're so pretty and they're so cute. And a lot of people want to say with like Lycan, well, he's so calm when he talks. Doesn't make you a nice person. We also heard the one video of Lycan, going off like a hyena, right? He was triggered in that one video, right? When he was talking about that woman. Told her to go K herself and that her husband should beat the crap out of her and calling her, the C word. I don't know who he was talking about or talking to. But yeah, he's not as calm all the time. Maybe another chameleon. I don't know. So anyways, about this Tiff, everybody says, well, everybody's just jealous of her. And she's in Lycan's community, and that's why people have a problem with her. No. And I don't know much about her. Well, not really anything at all. Just the few things that were put out that you hear out of her own mouth. That's what I'm going to talk about, okay? I talk about behaviors. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Now, the first thing that I'm going to talk about is what we hear about. Well, let's just talk about when she's talking about the racial slurs. Let's go there, okay? Let's go there, because people just love to spew this out of their mouth and then just say, well, we're only human, and I betcha most people do this. No, most people don't. Racist people do. Or people that don't have morals do. Because a lot of people have mixed families. Or they just have morals and they don't do it. Now, she said that the reason why she kept calling this person the N-word, all right, is because they were, I think, harassing her child. And she said, not me, I'm not talking about anybody's child. She has a child that's on the spectrum. And she talks about her child a lot. I get it. I have a child. My youngest son, very high functioning. They used to call it Asperger's. I guess they just call it now high functioning, autistic. I mean, you could never tell. You would never tell he's very smart. But when someone talks about your child, Mama Bear claws come out, right? But if anybody ever talked about my child, the last thing in my mind would be to call them the N-word. I would be F-bombing them all over the place, right? Because we are only human. I probably would be saying, talk about my kid, I'm going to be kicking your ass. Those would be, words we would use. But to call them the N-word? No. Don't think so. And she does it over and over and over again. We also know Lycan is well known for doing this as well, because he says they're only words. Now, in this community, he has stopped doing it publicly because he got backlash for it. Because it's not accepted in this community, I guess, like it was in his other communities that he was in. He says this community is filled with a bunch of Karens. People don't like that word, okay? They don't. And he talks about how a lot of people, they must be on the left. I'm not on the left. I'm not, a feminist. I stand up for men's rights a lot, okay? I have a lot of male friends that get screwed over by women. But it's not acceptable, all right? If you think it's so acceptable to use the N-word, right? When you're mad, when you're heated, and we're only humans, and you think it's acceptable to do that, then I dare you, I triple dog dare you, if you think that it's only human to do that, I dare you to go up to a black person and use the N-word, because it's only human, and you're pissed, and see what happens. Just saying. Lycan, Tiff. Now, she says she's never said this to a person, to a black person, or to a person, to their, to their face. She said it to somebody because she was angry. Because they were attacking her child. Like I said, those would be the last words I think the majority of people would think of when someone's attacking their child. Just saying. And if you think it's normal words, like I said, Lycan, get out there in the real world and go up and say it to somebody in real life and see how that works out for you. So we're going to move along from that because there was, I think, some other racial slurs used against some Mexicans again. And they might not have been, and they're like, oh, it was not. Yes, it was. You just didn't say the word Mexican, but you could tell what it was, okay? Now, I have, my sister-in-law's Mexican. Like I said, I come from a blended family. I have blacks in my family. I have Indian in my family. My sister-in-law is Mexican. She's a nurse, okay? So, she's out saving lives, right? What y'all doing? Her son is in the military. So, I have a nephew, Mexican nephew. I have Mexican nieces. I have a blended family. I'm blessed. Because I'm being taught some things that they go through, that they have to face, that, I wouldn't think about. I don't have to think about. I'm white as a ghost. You guys see my hands, even though I haven't shown my face yet. You see my arms. Actually, I have a lot of Indian in me. Believe it or not. Yeah, I do. My dad's mother was full-blooded Indian. I don't know how... I'm not into all this ancestry stuff. My sister is. She really gets into that DNA stuff. But my dad's mother was a full-blooded Indian. So I don't know how much that makes me, okay? I don't. But my brothers are a lot darker. You could tell. But me, I'm as white as a ghost. And I have blue eyes. Out of the 7 of us, I'm the only one with blue eyes. The rest of them, my brothers all have brown eyes. My one sister has brown eyes. And one sister has green. Well, 2 sisters have green. And my one sister, when she gets mad, her green eyes kind of turn a little blue. But I am the only one with blue eyes. And my dad had brown eyes. And my mom, she had blue eyes. So I guess I kind of take after my mom. But anyways, I'm not into all that. That's my sister handles she does the family tree stuff. But anywho, got off track there. So I'm just saying, people that have blended families are very blessed because they are able to, I don't know. I'm not even going to go there. I just say that we're blessed because we can talk to them and get their stories of what they have to go through on a daily basis that we wouldn't understand. We wouldn't understand because we don't have to go through it. And we might sit there and say, and I used to say it, well, gosh, I don't get it. I don't understand what you're talking about or what you're going through. But anyways, like I said, You know, I would like to see some of these people go out in the real world and say what they say on the internet to people out on the street and see how it goes over. So we're going to move past that, okay? Because just like with Mrs. P saying some of the stuff that she says, you know, you can say sorry. You absolutely can. And people could say, well, she owns it. She owns it. Yeah, you can say sorry, but if you keep repeating the behavior over and over and over again, you're not sorry. Sorry, you're not. Okay? Sorry is just words. That's just like if your husband or your partner slaps you, hits you, and then says, I'm sorry. Doesn't mean jack shit if they do it over and over again, right? So now we're going to talk about this man, in my opinion, that she defended. That I listened to that and I was just like, wow. And that is when I am like, okay, this is not a good person. I don't care how cute she is. I don't care how sweet talking she is, because she's got a very sweet voice and she sounds like somebody that you could be friends with. She seems like she's very likable and a very good-hearted person. Nah, not after. And I guess there's a lot on Reddit. Now I'm not with Reddit, so I guess you got to sign up to Reddit or whatever. And I'm not one of those persons. I've already said before, I don't go digging on people. If it's not coming up on YouTube or whatever, I'm not going to dig on you. All right? I'm just not that person. But let's get into this. So there was this man. I don't even know his name. Okay? Like I said, I listened to all this stuff yesterday, so it was a lot to take in at once. And I'm sure there's a lot more. But this man videotaped, or he was videoing children at a McDonald's, but it wasn't him at the McDonald's. Okay? So I guess this makes a difference. It was him videoing, and I might not get this exactly correct, okay? But he was like using a camera or a camcorder off of somebody else videoing. They must have videotaped their own children at McDonald's, right? So what he did in his sick, twisted mind is he videoed off of the computer with a camcorder or a camera of somebody videotaping their own children playing in like the play yard area or whatever, I think at the McDonald's. And he's doing, quote, commentary, and he's talking about these children in a disgusting way. He's talking about, I'm not even going to say it. Yummy, yummy little kids that want to eat you up. That's all I'm going to say about it. Okay? They're very young children. They look to be under the age of 7, 6. Okay? The faces aren't covered up. Okay? In these videos. He's showing the children. So, what I am gathering is people were calling him a pedo. And she goes on, in my opinion, to defend him. And she's trying to say that, no, I wasn't defending him. I was saying that they can't call him that because they don't know he is one, because he was never charged. He doesn't have a criminal record. He never went to jail for anything. blah, 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 you know, this and this and this and this. Okay. So I kind of get her logic on that. You know, this man, and also that he did not go to McDonald's and tape these children. He was using a camera or a camcorder, and he got on the computer and he basically took this video off of probably a parent videoing their children and putting it out on the net, right? Maybe on Facebook or whatever. And I guess he's a creator, maybe, I'm not sure. And so people are giving this man backlash because it was pretty disgusting. It was. And so she's given her point of view that these people can't call him that because, you know, he has no criminal background of being one. Well, and then she tries to say, you know, being one, you got to have, you know, the thoughts, you know, for being under the age of 7. Actually, it's 12 or, you know, under. But being one is the thought of having, I'm not even going to get into all that, okay? You can look up. I don't want that in my video. You can look up what the meaning is, okay? Here's the thing. Why did he do it? Why did he do it, and why are you defending him? Then you hear a phone call between her and him. And she literally says, because he's trying to talk to her, and she says, you did nothing wrong. Right there. You're defending him. You did nothing wrong. So you're saying that him, this guy, videotaping, not videotaping, but, well, yeah, he videotaped a parent's children, even if it was off the computer, not going into a place, because he didn't go there. You can, and she's like, you can clearly see, and she was trying to explain this on Lycan's, okay, channel, or on this panel, and he's agreeing to it all. Of course, Lycan, you don't have children, okay? You don't have children, so it wouldn't affect you at all. Right? Wouldn't affect you at all if this happened to your kids. No. You don't give a shit. Okay? Clearly. But she's saying you can tell that they're, you know, and you can tell that he's not at the McDonald's and filming the kids. That he's doing it like over a computer or over a screen, because you can see like the shadow or the you know what I'm saying. But what he's doing is sick, okay? Because he's putting this out as content, and then his words that he's saying to this video, and these 2 babies running around, and the crap that he is saying for commentary is totally disgusting, Tiff. Okay? Disgusting. And you literally said to him, you did nothing wrong, with the words that he was saying about these 2 babies running around. And we all heard the words that he was saying. But she said, you did nothing wrong. What was his purpose of doing that? Okay? Only a sick mind would do that, right? And I am sick of hearing, oh, he was playing a character. I'm sick of hearing that. Lycan, Tiff, he was playing a character of what? That's what pedos think? Okay, I'm sick of hearing that. Because now she is saying that this same man that she didn't defend, but yes, she did, because she said to him, he did nothing wrong, that he has been stalking her, harassing her, or whatever for what, 6 years now, and she has got an open case against him, and that he has done some very nasty things towards her son, or said nasty things towards her son. Interesting. But he did nothing wrong. So what? Does he have some sick thoughts about children now? But he didn't back then to these young children. Why did you insert yourself into that? I mean, why was it okay for him to do it to these little tiny kids, but it's not okay now, is it? It's not okay now because it's your own child. But see, here's the thing. Lycan wanted his name and wanted his channel name and have her say it on his channel. And she's telling him no, and she's doing it in, her sweet voice. No, I don't want to promote him. If I say his name, his whole channel, it would be known. And he's like, well, if there's a nasty person out there, it needs to be known. And he's over talking Tiff. And she tells Lycan there is an open, police case on this. But Lycan's not getting it through his head. If there's an open investigation, then she shouldn't be saying his name. But no, he wants it because, it's content. It's content for his channel. And she's telling him in a nice way, instead, no, I don't want to put his name out there. And just, instead of just saying, because he's pushing it, instead of just saying, no, Lycan, I'm not putting his name out there. There's a damn open case, because this man, she did say that he threatened to kill her entire family. Okay, that's what happens. Unfortunately, it shouldn't, but that's what happens when you defend sick people that do that to little children. And you put it out there on the net. She said trolls. She had a lot of people trolling her. I'm sure. And no, it's not fair. But when you defend somebody that's doing that to little kids, you're going to have people come after you. You are. But like I said, Lycan couldn't let it go. He kept pushing and pushing and pushing. I did watch that. It was a little disgusting. Lycan, you should have just dropped it. It took a little while before he did. He finally dropped it. And people wonder why. Mrs. Portland, you wonder why people don't like Tiff? She defended a man that said some really horrible things about two little babies and put out a video, okay, of their faces while they were at McDonald's. Probably took that video, kind of stole it from probably their parents. It has nothing to do with her being prettier than anybody else. It has nothing to do with you guys being such a wonderful family over there. It has to do with that being a disgusting behavior. Okay? Absolutely disgusting. Now, how would Tiff feel if that was her baby that some creep had a video out there on and was saying those disgusting things about? Would she be okay with that? How about anybody that's in the community, in Lycan's community, or Robbie's, because they kind of share the same subs, right? How would they feel if their children or their grandchildren, if they put out a video of them playing in the park or at McDonald's or anywhere else, and they put it on Facebook, you know, for their family and friends, and then you have this creepy guy. Somehow, maybe they hacked into your Facebook, or somehow they got in there, right? And they took that video and they had a channel and they posted that video and they said those nasty things about your grandchildren, your little babies, or your own children, and showed their faces, and it's out there on the net, right? And then you have another creator come and say they didn't do anything wrong. They're not a pedo. They didn't do anything wrong. And then say, I didn't defend them. I'm just saying they didn't do anything wrong. And all these other people that are coming forward saying they're this and that and this and that, they're wrong. Because that guy didn't do anything wrong because he doesn't have a criminal record. How would you feel about that person defending him? Would you be okay with it? Would you be okay with that person that is defending him about your children or your grandchildren? No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. But you're okay with Tiff because she's in your community. That's the only reason why you're okay with her. If that would be anybody else in your, quote, haters community, you would be outraged. You know it. Cult-like behavior, guys. Admit it. Let's call it out all the way around. You guys can't. I can do it. I can do it. I called out Natasha when she was posting about saying that she was going to send out the revenge porn on Lycan because I didn't think it was right. I sure did. I said something about when Jessica Lynn gave Lycan the journal. I sure did. Why can't you guys stand up for what is right? All the way around. Not just because it's someone you don't like, you can stand up against that, but when it's your leader or someone in your community that does something disgusting, you're fine with it. You have no morals. You don't. And you want to talk about other people's morals? Get out of here. So now let's go on to the cancer. Okay? You all want to call out other people saying that they faked their cancer. You have Tiff that admitted she faked her cancer. You hear it in that video, but let's say that she didn't even really say that you didn't hear that little admission that I said that stuff to stop you from harassing me. We heard it, right? We heard it. But let's say that we didn't hear that. Let's use some common sense. She talks about having a type of cancer, and I don't like bringing people's mental health, or not mental health, I'm sorry. Well, even mental health, unless they put it out there, or even their physical health, It shouldn't be anybody's business, but, people want to put it out there. If you put it out there. But here's the thing. The people over there in that community and other communities, they wanted to keep talking about Granny. They want to talk about Granny's cancer, right? So we're going to go there. Or they want to talk about other people's issues. So yeah, we are going to go there because it's been put out. She put it out publicly on video that she had. I think it was, and don't quote me because like I said, I listened to all this. This was all like in one kind of day and night. I think she said she had a lymphoma or something like that. It was in her lymph nodes, okay? So we're not going to get into all that. But then later on, she said that it spread, okay, to breast cancer and maybe in bone marrow, which means METs. METs means metastasized, okay? And if you have cancer that metastasized, you absolutely are going to have to do chemo, okay, or radiation. There's going to be some extreme treatment going on here, because when it mets, you got some serious stuff going on. All right, when it's just localized, it's still bad. All right, but once it mets, they're going to be doing some radical stuff. They're going to be doing some radical chemo and stuff like that. We see Tiff's beautiful long hair. How long does it take to grow that long hair, right? Doesn't look like a wig to me. Now, they make some wigs that look, pretty real. She's never mentioned she's got a wig, though, has she? No? No? It takes a long time to grow out hair after chemo and when you lose your hair. Now, I said before that my ex did not lose his hair. He was a fluke. But, he had short hair anyways. He had very, very, it was almost, it was very short. He was a male, too. And he didn't do chemo that long. But his didn't mets either. She would have lost her hair. And then to be able to grow it back that long, I'm not sure how long ago this video was where she said that she had this, but look how long her hair is. Just saying, common sense. So again, you have someone lying about cancer, but the community is okay. They're okay with this Tiff. They're absolutely okay. And I've just heard that there is a lot more out there on her. I'm not digging. If it comes up to surface, I'll talk about it, but I'm not digging. Okay? I'm absolutely not. That is the reason why people have problems with her. It has nothing to do with Lycan. There's people in Lycan's community that, like I said, you don't judge people on the community they're in. Now, I do have a problem myself personally if people are okay with calling others the N-word, if they're okay with someone going around triggering people intentionally. Yes, we are responsible for our own mental health, okay? We are. And yes, we can't expect people not to, or there not to be triggers out there in the world, because there are. On TV, there's going to be triggers. Out in real life, there's going to be triggers. I get that. But when you have a person going around doing it on purpose, okay, that makes him a sick individual. And y'all know it. All right? Y'all know it. It makes him sick. Now, I try to be unbiased, and I said that. And I'm just going to be clear. Lycan is one person I do not like. I gave his channel, to begin with, a chance. I listened to some stuff just to see who he was, right? And you could tell that he was faking a lot of stuff, because he's used to saying the R word and the N word and stuff like that. But he knew that in this drama circle, that wasn't going to go over well with anybody, because people in this drama circle, they don't like that. They don't like it. At least there's a lot of people that do have morals, and they're like, we're not okay with it. This is not the community for you to do that in. So he's like, okay, I'm going to have to not say that over here, because we got a lot of Karens. Screw you and your Karens, okay? I think a lot of people are okay to be called a Karen if we don't like those words, okay? Because some people do have morals. Some people, you know, they don't. And they don't care. That's fine. Doesn't mean that they're lefties. Doesn't mean they're righties. And yes, my tone has changed a little bit when I talk about Lycan and what has been going on recently, because this has affected every community but his own and Robbie's, okay, in this drama circle. And I think I can speak for all the communities, all of them. It has affected somebody in all communities. SA victims, domestic violence victims, okay? Different religions, different races, you know, everybody. Because of some of the crap that he does. And he does it on purpose for that shock value. So it has affected every community. That's what he wanted. Now, you know, going back to this Eli that he likes to stream, I was listening last night, and he's asking, and I'm thinking to myself, who the hell are you? He's asking, I guess this Eli came up because Eli, like I said, I know nothing about him. He could be a creep. I have no clue. But apparently Jamie likes to stream them. Maybe I think they got it passed. But Jamie Lycan, we'll call him Lycan, not Jamie. We'll call him Lycan. We'll keep with his YouTube name. Is asking him personal questions about his finances. Really? Lycan? Who the hell are you to ask somebody about their finances and their living arrangements? Because he is saying, well, it's clear that you live with your mom, and talking about his girlfriend. How can you be married or have your girlfriend move in when you live with your mom? And, you know, something about, and don't quote me word for word, don't want words to be twisted like some of y'all like to do. It's clear that you can't, pay your bills or whatever. And of course, Mrs. Portland is running her little trap about Eli too. You're not one to say anything about who pays whose bills there, Mrs. Portland. But Lycan wanted to know, because I guess this Eli is a life coach, and he's Lycan wants him to tell him how much money he makes, and that there needs to be transparency. I did not know that you needed to, and people can quote me if I'm wrong. If you consider yourself a life coach, I don't think you have to have a license or anything to do that. I think, isn't Molly Golightly a life coach too? I didn't know that you had to tell other creators what your income is, or even if you're a life coach, what you make. I think you have to give what you charge. If somebody calls you and asks you, what do you charge? I don't think you have to put that out publicly. I don't know. But I don't think you have to put out how much do you make yearly, or how much do you make a week or a month. I don't think that's anybody's business. But Lycan's wanting to know, how he pays his bills. He wants to know, do you rent? He's asking him all this. How do you make your money? How do you make your money, Eli? And Eli keeps telling him, that's none of your business. It's not, Lycan. Oh, I almost said the F-bomb there. Woo, caught myself. Seriously, Lycan, I am sure. I'm going to put this on pause a minute because I want to take my dogs out and collect myself. Alrighty. Had to take a breather there. Almost F-bomb there, everybody. So, he wants to know all about Eli's financing. And of course, there's a bunch of people up there on panel, including Mrs. P and the ex-Mrs. Lycan. And for some reason, they got to know, and I'm not even sure what that was all about, but they got to know about his finances and how he pays his bills, and about his old lady and how she's going to move in with the parents and all this stuff. And I'm just thinking to myself, well, Lycan, how the hell do you pay your bills? I mean, clearly you are not making enough on YouTube to afford rent. Not rent, but your so-called mortgage on your condo. I mean, you say that you bought a condo, but it could just be rent on an apartment. It could actually be an apartment, right? And you're just paying rent. I mean, that's what you want to put out there. Doesn't really matter. Who's to say your parents aren't paying for it, right? It's pretty clear. I mean, anybody with common sense is, you're not making enough on YouTube. I mean, could you have something on the side with your t-shirts? Are you selling enough t-shirts? Who knows? Who cares? Because in reality, it's nobody's damn business, right? It's nobody's damn business what this Eli guy does. It's nobody's business what you do, but see, you want to put out there, just like with Granny, that you're obsessed with, in my opinion, along with somebody else, on how she pays her bills and her living arrangement, and that somebody else is taking care of all of her bills, and yada, yada, yada. Some people, they invest, they might invest in stock. I did. I'm not doing that now, but I did. I have a 401k. Some people think about their retirement. They might do side things too. You know, are you doing that? Like, you know, you might be doing that. Don't know. Mommy and daddy might be helping you out. Don't know. But, you know, if you can sit there and ask somebody else what business, you know, are you renting? Are you owning? Are you living with mommy and daddy? Are they paying your bills? Then why do you get so butthurt when people ask you the same damn thing? See, double standards there, right? Double standards. And your community goes along with you, too. Yeah, I was in chat. People are saying the same thing, but it doesn't even seem like, you know, you get outside ever. Ever. I mean, you probably do. But, you know, this Eli, when you stream him, I mean, I see the walking. Like I said, I don't know him from Jack. I just click, it looks like he walks. And like I said, he could be the biggest piece of crap ever. Don't know. But what I'm saying is, who gives you the right to ask anybody else how they pay their damn bills? Seriously. Worry about yourself. Worry about how you pay your bills. Don't worry about how someone else pays theirs. Right? Keep streaming other people for your content. And you do talk shit about other people for content. Even though you say, I can do this and I can do that without others, just like someone else would know, right? But no, you don't. You talk shit about others like everybody else. I mean, that's how it works. This is the drama community. Duh. Seriously. I was just kind of floored with that. I really was. A lot of people, you know, like I said, I went to college, okay? But not everybody, they don't have to go to college. They don't. To, you know, I encouraged it. I encouraged it with my children. But a lot of people don't have to make that choice. And I had to learn that. I had to learn that, you know, you can't force that on your kids. You can't say you know, you can't bang that in their head. You need to go to college. Because a lot of people are able to go a different direction and make a decent living for themselves. And they can do it in different ways, right? Instead of, you know, busting their ass out there. They can build a business. They can do other things on the side, and they can still make a decent living. There's a lot of people, a lot of millionaires out there that never went to college. Just saying. There's a lot of people that do different things, and they have a lot of different avenues, money coming in different ways, legally, okay? It's none of your damn business. So I'm just going to put it out there. Like, and it's none of your damn business what anybody is doing, how they're making their money, their living situation, all right? And yeah, some people have said some shit about you, about your living situation, but you have said shit about other people, okay? About their living situation. You know, all you got to worry about is you and your cat. You don't have children to worry about. So, you know, do you. Don't worry about other people, okay? Worry about your own damn bills. And I'm going to only address one other thing and then move on. And I'm sure, I said before, you know, we keep fueling the fire talking about Lycan, but, and Mrs. Portland, but shit keeps coming up, right? Nasty shit. And then I did want to talk about Tiff, and because people are saying that, oh my gosh, you know, she's just so beautiful and she's so sweet, and that's why everybody hates her. But these things needed to be talked about, because no, That's not why people dislike her. It's because of what she has done and said. That is the problem. All right? Could it be past mistakes? We'll just see what happens. We'll see what she puts out there to see if it's just past mistakes. But apparently, she is okay with, you know, some of the things that are being put out there too by now who she's aligned herself with. So the last thing that I'm going to cover, because I know that I have been going on, this video is going to be really long. We're going to address Pesky because she had to come in and make a comment. She only comes in to make comments when I'm talking about her leader, when I'm talking about Lycan. Because, I mean, she's a diehard fan. Diehard fan of Lycan, okay? So, I'm going to make this nice and quick, Pesky. And you want to say, how dare I? How dare you? You said that once before to me. You said Sally Ann needs to apologize because of her emotional manipulation. You said that you were sorry to Granny multiple times, and that you said you were sorry to everybody else because you had an epiphany. You just now had an epiphany that you yourself were doing the same, that you emotionally manipulated. All right? You didn't have this epiphany until you got with Lycan. Until you got with Lycan, because some people were saying what you did was emotional manipulation because you were back on YouTube right away. You took your channel and you hit it for what, a night or something, but you were back in chats right away. Don't quote me, but I think the next day, if I'm not mistaken. And you said love and support. Where? I didn't get love and support. Bullshit if you didn't. People were up all night. CJ got shit like you wouldn't believe. CJ was up for hours and hours and hours. And yes, CJ made that call. It might not have got to your address. Maybe it was the wrong address. But CJ made that call and got shit for it because they're like, no one showed up, because I don't know what games you and Lufa were playing, because I guess we seen the text messages too and the emails or whatever they were, and you two seem to be playing games back and forth too. I don't even know much about Lufa, okay? But you two seem to be playing games back and forth that you two were harassing each other and stalking each other or whatever. Maybe that was just a big game for drama, okay? Because we seen it. And we heard, you know, the video messages or whatever they were from Lufa, that you were just this horrible person stalking her. But now you're besties, okay? Just out of the blue, you're besties. And then she went with Natasha, and now she's with Lycan. I mean, this flip-flopping just gives me whiplash. See, you don't see me flip-flopping, do you? Nope, you sure don't. You see some other people that just don't flip-flop, okay? They stand where they stand with their morals, and they don't flip. But CJ was, and was given updates. But then CJ got thrown under the bus by a lot of people. She didn't call. Yes, she did call. She tried. And there was a lot of people, even your quote haters, that were concerned and were up that entire night. Okay? I was up that entire night over a stranger on the internet. A lot of prayers went out to you. Natasha even was saying stuff, you know, I pray for Pesky. And people in that community were praying for you. People everywhere. Jessica was crying on her live. Okay? Other people were upset. In every community, there was an outpour of love everywhere. You did not have anybody go to your, well, you don't go up on panel anywhere, but nobody went to your channel like they did Sally Ann. Nobody went if you were having a meltdown or whatever. They didn't go to trigger you while you were having a meltdown like they did Sally Ann. Okay? They didn't. It's not the same. We've also seen a lot of the messages, text messages, okay, where you were coming unhinged with Jessica Lynn. We've seen it. The emails, the emails. And where she just basically let you go. That was it. She let you go. And that, in my opinion, there could have been more behind the scenes. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I know what's going on behind the scenes, because I don't. But we've seen a lot, enough to say that if that was me and I had somebody that kept doing that to me in emails, I would have to step back and say, if I was having my own issues, my own mental issues, and someone kept doing that to me, I would have to back away from them as well and say, I'm sorry, I can't deal with you anymore. And that's, in my opinion, what Jessica Lynn did. And you spiraled out of control. Now, afterwards, yes, some people said that they thought that it was some emotional manipulation on your part, because you were right back on YouTube bashing her. You say that you sent her an email. She did say that you did, and that you did apologize to her. And I think you did put a community post up that you apologized. I think I remember that when you brought your channel back up, but then you started bashing her again, and you have done it ever since. Almost, I mean, you can look at your wall and your videos. It's almost always about Jessica Lynn. Your videos and your community post, if you look at them, it's got to be about Jessica Lynn. Or CJ. CJ's the one that tried to get help for you and was worried about you. Give me a break. You might not like her, but she was the one worried about you. And trying, because I guess she was one of the ones closest to you. It might have went to the wrong address. Is that her fault? She didn't know your address. Seriously. But yes, some might have said it was emotional manipulation because they seen you on right away. So you say Sally Ann deserves to give everybody an apology because it was emotional manipulation. And Sally Ann came on a couple of days later, I think, onto CJ's. I didn't listen to it all the way through. But she did say she was sorry. Okay? She made a community post that she was sorry to everybody that witnessed this. Sally Ann was also under the influence. She said that. It's out there. It's nothing that I'm putting out there. She said she was sorry. Not only was she mentally drained because of Mrs. Portland, y'all know that's a fact. Mrs. Portland started this over the Krama Awards. When Sally Ann could not be at her beck and call. You know it to be a fact. But she put out a community post. When you say Sally Ann needs to say she's sorry, she said she was sorry publicly. She said it by her own words, unlike you, Pesky, because, you know, I don't think you've ever done a video where anybody's heard your voice, right? Don't think so. Sally Ann did do that, where you heard her voice. Is she going to apologize to Lycan? I don't think so. To your leader? No, it's not going to happen. Or to Mrs. Portland? Ain't going to happen. Or to Robbie? Ain't going to happen. Because they've been talking mad shit about her ever since. They're still talking about her. And it's been how long? Sally Ann stayed off after she came back on after a couple of days. As far as I know, I took a quick look. She was off of her own channel. I don't know if she's been on other panels. People can correct me if I'm wrong. She's been off of other channels for a long time. And then I think recently, maybe over a week, 10 days, something like that. And then recently, she has been on her channel doing crafts, like in the last couple of days. Now, she's been on other people's channels. I don't know. But it looks like she took a break and now she's just doing crafts and that's it. If I'm wrong, people can tell me I'm wrong. But she did make a public apology on her community wall. I seen that. And she spoke it. So she did say she was sorry. What more do you want? Okay? But it was just, you said in my comments that you did emotional manipulation, but it just now, it took you how long to come to realize that? It took you until you got into Lycan's community. Now, why is that? Is it because you're thinking the way, because he's been pushing that narrative that Sally Ann did that? Is that why? I didn't get that shut off in time. Anyways. Or did you actually feel in your heart that you were so hurt over your lost friendship with Granny? Which I think you do. I think you're still hurt over that friendship because that's all you can talk about. Either that or that's your connection with Lycan. Okay? That's your connection, is Granny. But for some reason, he's got you believing that, you know, you were manipulating other people because you sure didn't think that way until you got in his community. And you said I changed? The only thing that I think I changed is I can honestly say now that there is a creator that I do not like, and that's Lycan. I don't like him. I don't like nothing he stands for. Okay? I'm not going to call him a woman hater. I don't know him in that way. Okay? Does he talk foul? When he's calling everybody a see you next Tuesday and, you know, bitches and stuff like that. Yeah, women can be bitches. They can be see you next Tuesdays, I guess, too. I don't think he's funny at all. I mean, I like some dark humor, yeah, but I mean, him talking like a little boy, and you guys think that's hilarious and that's good content. Him talking about SA victims getting aroused and that it is enjoyable. You know, if he wanted to talk some, you know, awareness, put awareness out there, why isn't he talking about some, you know, men that get abused by women? You know, put some facts out there about that. Because there are, you know, it's true. There's facts out there that men, a lot of men don't turn it in. There is men that are domestic violence survivors. And there should be more awareness towards that. Absolutely. And there's men that get screwed over when it comes to visitation with their children. Parent alienation. It's a form of child abuse. That's something he could discuss. Because, you know, it would affect his gender, right? But no, he wants to trigger the Karens out there, as he calls it. But, you know, you want to say that I've changed and I'm nasty. Where have I been nasty, Pesky? Seriously. Do you see me commenting nasty things? You won't see that, but I sure see you commenting the most, I can't say most, but I see you commenting some really vile things. Like, I'm not even going to go to, I'm not even going to say some of the vile things that you've commented, but you agree with everything Lycan will say. Everything. Just like with everything that I said about Tiff. Okay? That's disgusting. But since she's part of your community, you're going to stand up for it. You're going to say it's all okay. You're going to say, calling people the N-word, you're fine with it. And people might say, well, you know, we don't agree with everything that our creator says. I'm sorry. Some things, if your creator does certain things, you might not agree with your creator on certain things and still like your creator. I said that before. But if there's certain other things that a creator does, okay, there's certain things that there's just no way. If there's certain things that they do, there is no way that I could ever support them or watch them. Some things they can get a pass. Might not agree with it, but they can get a pass, and I can still like them and still watch them when they're not talking about a certain subject or doing, you know, whatever. But there's other things, they would never get a pass. I couldn't support them. But see, the thing is some of these people, they would not fit in any other community. So they have nowhere to go but to Lycan. They wouldn't fit in anywhere else. They might have their own channel, but they're sub-grabbing. In my opinion, they absolutely are. They sub-grab, they share subs. They're growing their channel that way. That's my opinion. So no, I haven't changed at all. Now, my tone might change when I am more passionate about what I'm talking about. Absolutely. Because I stand for what's right. I absolutely do. And you even said that you weren't going to watch some of my videos. You only watch the videos when I talk about your leader. That's it. I haven't changed. I do other videos too. I do some cooking videos, craft videos, nature videos. You don't watch any of that. You just love the drama. Love it. And you do. You've mentioned your son. Would you be proud if your son talked the way Lycan did or acted the way Lycan did? You have mentioned your son many times. I'm not mentioning, saying anything that you haven't put out there. I know I have a 28-year-old. I said my 25-year-old, he has health issues. No, he's 24, excuse me. Getting carried away there. My 28-year-old son, if he acted that way, I would be ashamed. I would be ashamed. And I know if I acted the way that Lycan did on social media, my kids would be calling me and saying, what the hell are you doing? But if my son would act that way, not only would I be ashamed, I would be on the phone saying, what the hell are you doing? How dare you, kid? because I did not raise my kids, especially my boys, not even my daughter. Okay, sometimes me and my daughter might butt heads there, here and there, because we're alike. But my boys know better, okay? They know better. They're not going to treat women like that. And I said it before, they don't put up with a woman treating them like crap. They would not do that. But they're not going to call women these names. All right? Might they say it under their breath? I'm sure they have. But they're not going to degrade women. They're not going to do what he does. They don't think it's okay to call people the N-word. They don't think it's okay to trigger other people just for the fun of it. My son's a hardworking man. He pays his bills. He owns 6 acres of land. Build his own house. It doesn't say that, he's better than anybody else. He's just a hard worker. And yeah, he works a regular job, but he also does a lot of side stuff too. So it's not all conventional. He's thinking about his future, putting money back for retirement already. But he also has children. He waited a little bit, he didn't want to have them real young. He wasn't ready. But I would be so ashamed if my son talked the way that he did and got on social media and acted like an ass. So, no, Pesky, I have not changed, okay? And I'm not nasty. I don't body shame. I don't make fun of people, okay? I don't go after their mental health. I don't go after, some of the stuff that you all do. Now, I might get a little petty here and there, but, you guys, I talk about behaviors, okay? So, yeah, I insert myself in the drama because this is a drama community. I'm not going to sit here and talk about people's addictions, okay? No, I've never had to deal with that. I don't know what it's like. I've been around it. I lost my second ex to addiction. I'm not going to down anybody about it. But unlike Lycan, okay, where he says he doesn't care. Okay? He doesn't care. Don't bring your traumas to him. He doesn't care. And, he's made fun of Jessica Lynn by putting out fake pictures of her, saying that it was her being all strung out. That wasn't funny. All right? Y'all might have thought it was funny. But he says he doesn't give a shit. Basically, don't bring it to him. He's not your counselor. The difference is, if someone needed to talk to me about, I'm struggling right now, I have no one to talk to, I'm depressed, I might want to take a drink, I might want to pop a pill, I might want to self-harm, I would care. I wouldn't say it's not my problem. I'm not your counselor. I don't give a shit. I would say, email me, or you know what? Here's my phone number. Call me. There's the difference. Because every life matters. Even if I don't care about somebody, care for them, because we might not share the same beliefs when it comes to you know, I have to say morals, I wouldn't care because every life matters. Well, when I say every life matters, I mean, I have to say, you know, murderers. Y'all know what I'm saying. But all your life matters on this, you know, in this drama circle. Even Lycan's. All right? His life matters too. But I wouldn't say that, you know, don't bring your crap to me. I don't care. I would say reach out to me. Reach out. There's the difference. So no, I don't feel like I've changed. I feel like a lot of people felt like they might have lost a friendship, and what they do, like they do in this drama circle, is they go to their quote enemy of whoever they had a falling out with. That's what they do. That's why I don't belong in a community. It doesn't mean that I don't go chat and I don't like certain creators, because there are certain creators, I'm not going to lie, that I feel very comfortable being in their chat and I feel very comfortable being around. I'm not going to lie about that. And there's other creators I feel like I would not be welcomed over there. And I gave it a try of chatting in Lycan's chat one time. I asked the question and got timed out. That's the last time I chatted in his chat. I asked about the fake picture he put out of Jessica's hoo-ha. If that might have been the cause of all this, and I said it very politely. I said, could that be the cause of all this chaos of what started? Because that was the topic, basically, of what started all this back and forth big stuff. Could that have been the cause of it? The beginning cause of going back and forth was because of the lie, basically, of you saying that, you know, she sent you this picture. It got deleted. My comment got deleted. I took a screenshot of it. I'm not into the taking screenshots in this drama circle, but I did take a screenshot of it, and then I got timed out and I couldn't make another comment. So I said, fine, whatever, you know. And I never tried to comment again because he wants to, that's the way he wants to run his channel. That is fine. The last thing that I'm going to say, this video, like I said, this might top them all. This might be, you know, the longest video I've done. And I'm sorry if I bored everybody. And yeah, I'm going to be petty. I'm going to be very petty with Lycan. Love his cat. I'm an animal lover. Got 2 cats of my own, I said before, and 3 dogs. As a matter of fact, on my bed right now, all 3 of my dogs are back to sleep. I just let them out and they're zonked out again. And both of my cats are in here, even though they sleep everywhere. They're stretched out on the bed too. I watched his cat video because I like videos like that, even though, okay, dark humor again of what he was saying about, you know, with the voiceover with this cat. Whatever. But, cute cat. But dude, if you're going to do a video, okay, at least Clean up your dirty drawers. I mean, seriously. I get it. You're a bachelor and all. And maybe Mrs. P can give you the name of who, you know, of a house cleaner or housekeeper or whatever. And it's okay to see, you know, clothes laying, you know, here and there and stuff like that. But, you know, you can tell that you got your dirty drawers on the floor because you got your towel there and everything like that. And when you're doing a live video, at least pick those up. I mean, it'd be one thing if it was just jeans or something, but you got your dirty drawers on the floor. And you knew you were going to do a live stream on your cat, and it's a cute little kitty. At least pick those up. Come on now. And, you know, the other petty thing I'm going to say, and I know it's petty, but dude, I know Lycan means werewolf. I do. But can we set up a fund for a manicure? I mean, seeing you petting your little kitty and everything. Maybe that's a new trend. I don't know. But, you know, guys, they normally do their nails. They cut them short and stuff like that. But seeing you petting Starbuck there, damn, he's so cute. Or she, I don't know if it's a he or a she. The way you were talking, you know, you made it sound like a man, you know. But I think it's a she. I'm not sure. But really cute cat. But dude, seriously. I mean, I would donate for a pedicure. I would. Unless that's part of the werewolf thing. I'm not sure. But the dirty drawers have to go when you do a video. When you're doing a live video, or push them to the side in a corner or something like that, you know, somewhere. So it's not in your video. Just trying to give you a heads up there. But anyways, I'm going to go, and I got to get on with my day. Like I said, I want to do that short video, and it is going to be short because there's not much to really say with Letitia. And then hopefully, if not today, tomorrow, and it might be tomorrow evening because I do have to work tomorrow. So do some of the jewelry, and that will be in 2 parts. So everyone have a great day, and we will just talk to you again.